Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Wordle with Art. Today we're going to solve Wordle number 677 for Thursday, April 27th. Yes, we are getting close to the end of our challenge month. What is the challenge for today's Wordle? You're not going to believe it. Not only do we have to solve the regular Wordle, but we have to create a vertical word going straight down any column that you want, and it has to be all 6 letters. So you must solve this in 6 in order to create a 6-letter viable English word, okay? This is going to be the granddaddy of all challenges. I kind of did quite a bit of work on this, and it's got a lot of luck involved. There's certain situations where it's basically just going to be impossible. So let's go ahead and put our Wordle screen on. And guys, here goes nothing. Now, as always, I have found that Slate is the absolute best way to start this thing. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Shoot. Okay. This was unfortunately one of the least desirable outcomes. This is one of the least desirable outcomes. What you're hoping for is a green, because then, for instance, if I had gotten a green L, then I could have gone straight down and done, say, the word laurel, right? Because we know that the L would have been in the second position, and I would have saved that for the 6th row. Now here, what we have to do, and I mean this might be a fail. I mean, hopefully we'll still solve the Wordle, but this could easily be the first failed challenge. The best thing to do here is you just have to pray that those L's will show up, okay, somewhere. So I think the best thing we can do here is this lols, okay? So here's the yeah. So interesting. Well, at this point, the S is not even going to really help with that E too much. What you're hoping for is an SL, because I do know a word that could end in L, and the O would turn green or the A will turn green. So I do think this is pretty much the best we're going to go with without wasting too much time. So here goes nothing. Yes! Woo! All right, we're not out of the woods yet, guys, okay? We're not out of the woods yet, but believe it or not, oh my God, I do know 2 viable English words that I could use, okay? Oh man, but we still have to solve the Wordle, so I don't want to get too excited, but that's my first little woo, because I think we might be able to get through our first hurdle, and that is we can do the challenge, but we have to solve the Wordle as well. So believe it or not, the word that we could use for the SL is slahal. It sounds crazy, but if you look it up, S-L-A-H-A-L, slahal, is a interesting word. It's actually a gambling game played by the indigenous people in the Northwest Pacific. So that's pretty cool. So slahal would not be bad. I mean, I probably could just go in that direction. Now, if I do the L-O, it's another really cool word. I would do lobolo, okay? And lobolo, believe it or not, would be a word that refers to the bride payment used in certain African tribes, often made in the form of, payment is made in the form of cattle. So, I mean, either one would be fine, I think. Either one would be totally fine. Lobolo or slahal. I'll just go with the slahal. I think that's totally fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. So let's see here. Now, plus it's a little bit easier to keep track of with the lobolo. I don't want to mess it up, whereas here I'm just going to literally spell out S-L-A-H-A-L. Here I could go with something like, what could this word be? It could be something like, it could be lobby. So actually, Abby would not be a bad word to test, even though it's a little aggressive with just going in for that one word lobby. There's probably quite a few other things. It could also be lorry. Okay, so we should probably do something that could get that handled too. Lorry, of course, is the term used for a truck in Britain. So we've got that. We could do, so lorry, lobby, not lodge, Lori and Lobby are looking pretty good so far. Um, so I would like to test a B and an R. I think that would be good. I don't think yeah, I would like to do the B and the R. How about if we were to do abhor? Okay. Yeah, I like that. I think that would be good. Now, I could also do, because I don't think the H would go in there. That looks a little funny. Now, I could also do abort. That might be slightly stronger because then I could test if it is a LOO word that I'm just completely overlooking. Now, I do see loopy, but I believe we have had it. But yeah, I think this is great. Let's go with abort and see what we get. Okay, nothing. Interesting. Huh. All right. Well, we have to start with H to make sure we satisfy the challenge. All right. Let's see. What did I miss here? It's not loyal. We don't have the A. There's could be an L at the end. It's not a double O. We have had lowly, but it wouldn't matter. The L is not in the fourth. Let's see here. Oh, what the heck is this word? It's funny when I was doing these and practicing them, when certain letters came up, I would just immediately skip it because I thought it'd be too easy. But this is actually kind of tricky. Let's just relax here for a second and think carefully. Screen looks good. I always have to check that. All right. Maybe I should have tested that Y. So this would actually be a good one. I'm a little scared here, to be quite honest. But at least we're testing that Y. Like maybe it could be. Now it's not loony, but hyena gets me my Y tested. But I think in that case, hyper would be better. Oh, this is still getting slightly scary here. What the heck is this word? LO. Because that fifth gas, and then that's it. I have to commit. All right. Let's see here. It's not going to be local. Oh, login. Okay. That's oh man, that's I'm okay. I think hyper could have, if I hadn't thought about login, hyper would have gotten me nothing, and that fifth guess I could have been in trouble. All right, so I think login would be a really good one. So let's go with to test that hypothesis. Let's go with what are we going to do here? I want to get the G and the N. The hyena would still kind of test that, but I want a little bit more. How about login? How about oh goodness. I think that G will really seal it up for us. Hinge. Hinge, of course. Look at that. Okay. So I'm really banking now on login. I just think that's super strong. It feels like a Tracy type of word. Slahal. And so let's keep our fingers crossed. Yes. Okay. I do think we got it. Yeah. I was like a little nervous there, but it looks to me like we've got, yeah, it looks to me. No, we don't. There's no, oh my goodness. Sorry, that's the thing I was like, where's my N? Okay. So there's no N. All right. But we do have 4 out of the 5 letters. So this should not be impossible. It's going to be not login, but Logic. Logic. Sometimes it pays to use a little bit of logic. Okay, so slachal. So now we have to go with A. I guess I could do something like acing. I mean, yeah, if we get yeah, I think that would be good. If anything, it helps position a few others. It's got to be logic, right? So let's go with the C and keep our fingers crossed, and then slahal, and then I'll do hopefully logic. Yes, look at this, guys. Oh my goodness. Let's spell it correctly. Logic. Woo! Another challenge, guys. Another challenge we completed. Oh my goodness. That was great. That was great. Whoa. You know, guys, if I'm going to design my own challenges, I am definitely going to prepare for them. And as you can tell, I probably over-prepared. All right. Now, I'm going to be super impressed if other folks found that word, slahal, because I do believe it is pretty much the only word that goes SL and then ends in an L. Okay. I think that was brilliantly played. Slate was definitely the best word to start with. And then, yeah, putting in the lulls and just ganging up on as many of those L's to get the positional as possible was the way to go. And we did it. We did it, guys. Oh my goodness gracious me. I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon. All right. And that's a tough word, logic, right? It took me forever to figure it out. So I'm very happy we got it. All right, guys. So, of course, we want to take a quick peek at tomorrow's puzzle. It's going to be another good one. Are you ready, guys? Yes. You have to form an X. That's correct. You have to form an X using any letter of your choosing, and it has to basically do a double diagonal. So your letter that you choose for your diagonal to create the X will start both in the upper left-hand corner and in the upper right-hand corner, and each diagonal will go down to the 5th row, basically going in opposite directions to form an X. So, as always, I think an example will really help make it clear. The letter that I chose to go into my little X pattern was an E. I think that's a good letter. Feel free to play around and try some of your own. You might find an even better one. All right, so I went with erase because it has to start with the E and it has to end with the E in order to create that X pattern. Next, I went with bevel, and now the E's are kind of like marching inward. And then the next word is really the most important because it's your opportunity to get as many fresh letters as possible. Wasn't a great guess of mine. I went with green, but then I stumbled upon deter, and that got me the T. And then I realized that we're going to actually have the word truer, which is very tricky. And so I basically knew at that point it had to be truer because the T goes up front, and the only viable letter to put between the TR and the ER would be a U. And so I just did a wasted guess, more or less, and I did exile. Okay, and then we finished with truer. And you see that cool pattern, guys, how the E's basically form an X pattern like this. And that is the goal for tomorrow's challenge. It's going to be super hard, but I know you guys will do great as you always do. I'm very curious to see how you guys did on today's. That was really, really tough. And I got super lucky by making sure that I could at least get a green on the second row. Well, there you have it, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys do. And, of course, I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow with yet another edition of Wordle with Art.